My name is Jack Brown. I'm farming an organic tillage farm here outside Tullow, County Carlow. Farming 36 hectares with 3 hectares of that in native woodland, and then I also have a Silvo Arable system, which is rows of trees, and starting to build a fertility rotation. Have a good bit of multi-species sward in the ground at the moment, which I take a bit of hay and silage from and graze with sheep during the winter. And then on the cash crop side, been experimenting with different combi crops with wheat and peas, oats and peas, and then some straights with just straight peas and some oats for tier lawn as well.
Yes, these are peas harvested today, a bit dirtier than I'd like in terms of weeds, but they're going to be used by a local farmer for feeding organic beef. Primary function was to add a bit of nitrogen to the tail end of a fertility cycle, and then there's also the protein payment on it, and it was an experiment as well. My first time growing straight peas. I had grown a combi crop with peas and oats before, and the peas and oats did a little bit better in terms of suppressing weeds. So the peas that were being harvested today are the tail end of the fertility cycle that I'm planning for the rotation, and what I'm standing in here is the start of it. This will be ploughed in next year for a cash crop. So this has been in a multi-species sward for 2 years, a good stand of clover, and I'm quite happy. There was a bit of haylage taken off this in July, and then it'll be grazed down with sheep over the winter. Behind me then there's my Silvo Arable system, which was part of the EIP project I was lucky enough to be involved in. Yes, we're standing in the middle of the first 2 rows of trees and the first alley. So this was where we decided to put the highest value trees as part of a Silvo Arable system. So we have rows that are 27 metres apart, and then 3 metres for the trees, which gives 24 metres in between for the alleys. Here we have sort of apple trees, plum trees, pear trees, the trees that are going to take pruning and that are most likely going to be harvested by hand. Because this was an EIP project and a demonstration site, we went for maximum diversity to kind of demonstrate what would work and what wouldn't work. So the Silvoarable system here was one about diversity, that was biodiversity, so having areas of the farm that aren't going to be cultivated. So we have the rows of trees, that's now a permanent crop, and then there'll also be perennial plants in there with flowers to attract beneficial insects. And then in terms of, I guess, the farm diversity as well, to explore different options in terms of what could produce an income, whether it's selling fruit or there's timber species in there as well, and whether that's biomass for furniture, there's sycamore and walnut and plane over in different rows. And then there's also, I guess, the benefits that trees bring to the landscape. You're kind of harvesting above the ground, and you're also have roots which penetrate much deeper than your annual plants. So that can help with water infiltration, and then the canopy above the ground can also help to slow down wind speeds and reduce wind damage, but also reduce drought. Hopefully, through some of the findings here, it might help to encourage other people to plant trees and show maybe what types of income streams could be possible from having trees in the middle of a arable land. So my mother and brother run a bloodstock enterprise with some quite good horses from time to time, and yeah, they use some of the hay that I produce here on the multi-species sward, and then I'd take the dung and compost it, and yeah, it's been composting for a good while now, and horse manure gets some nice hot compost, so there's been different things added into it. It's something that I've just started experimenting with and sort of learning how to get temperatures up, but it's something I want to try and do a little bit more of in the future, is explore different ways of getting different microbiology into the soil. Go yourself. Then into the future, there's going to be biomass produced here, so you could incorporate that into a market gardening system. There's going to be, say, fruiting crops as the trees develop, so you can have the potential of either selling that produce or bringing people on farm to pick it themselves and using it as a way of educating people and showing where food comes from. The first thing I want to do is plant the trees, and I've done that, and figure out what to do with them next.